disastrous Iran nuclear deal. They paid $150 billion plus $1.8 billion in cash. You know what they got? Nothing. They got nothing. I kept my promise, recognized the true capital of Israel, and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Every president for many, many decades said they were going to do it. They never did it. They never did it. They didn't have the guts to do it. They campaigned on it. They were all going to do it. Then they got there. There was a lot of pressure put on them, a lot of pressure put on me. Every leader was calling all over the world, please don't do it. Please don't do it. Mr. President, please don't do it. Don't do it. Don't move it. It's not. Just leave it the way it is. It's okay. But I promised. And I said, I'm going to do it. And then I got calls from the biggest people in the world, kings. I got calls from presidents, from prime ministers, please don't do it. Then I got calls, please have him call me back, me. I said, look, tell everybody I'm out for 3 days. I'm not going to be able to call him back. I had a news conference. We announced it. Then I called everybody back. Hey, how you doing? How's everything going? Everything going good? Yeah, well, I wanted to talk to you about Israel, but it's too late. You already did it. And we did it. And we got it done. And nobody else got it done. And it's something we had to do. I also recognize Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. And instead of endless wars, we are forging peace all over the Middle East. And you saw that. And I'm the only man that got nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. And I didn't get any press. They wouldn't. The two of them. Last week, I'm not bragging about it. I'm just saying, I'm the president of the United States. Because of Kosovo, Serbia, they've been killing each other for years. I worked out a deal for them. I got nominated. And then Israel with Bahrain and UAE. And many more to come. I mean, they all want to do it. We'll have peace in the Middle East without blood all over the sand. No blood. We're going to have peace in the Middle East. So, I was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. And I told the story last night. Should I tell it or not? Should I? Yes? She wants me. So I go home to our great First Lady. I said, First Lady, you're going to be so proud of me tonight. I was nominated not once, but twice. For totally separate events by different people, great people. First Lady, I was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. I was like this. I was nominated. Yeah, it's a big deal for our country, right? And she said, oh, that's good. I said, let's turn on the evening news. Let's watch it. This is going to be a big show tonight. Get ready. And NBC, which is one of the most crooked, one of the worst newscasts. And I'm talking about normal NBC, not MSDNC. MSDNC is the worst. But so I turned on NBC with Lester Holt, another beauty. And they start with a hurricane, and then they went to something, and something else. And I'm saying, First Lady, this is getting a little embarrassing. We're 20 minutes into a half-hour show. They haven't mentioned the Nobel Peace Prize. And then it went through the whole show, they never mentioned. Then I got nominated for a second one, they never mentioned. And when Barack Hussein Obama got nominated. No, when Barack Hussein Obama got nominated, he didn't know why he was nominated. It was like right at the very beginning, he didn't do anything. He did nothing. And he got nominated. It was the biggest story I've ever seen. But that's okay. In the meantime, we're president and they're not, right? So, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I will soon announce a nominee for the United States Supreme Court. They say it's the most important thing a president can do. I don't know. I think military, maybe. We rebuilt your military, $2.5 trillion. Socialism, I don't think it's socialism. I think it's a step beyond what they're talking about. You look at Portland, you look at Chicago, you look at New York, you look at Baltimore and Oakland. These are Democrat-run cities that are horrible on crime. There's no law and order, no cash bail, no anything. And you know what? The Republican cities are running great. They're running great. And so we're going to get it all changed around. We went into Minneapolis. We solved the problem like you wouldn't believe. What did it take? You saw it. What did that take? I would say probably 30 minutes, right? They should have called us in about 7 days earlier. How about the reporter? He gets up there. Behind him is a burning city. I never saw anything like it. And he's saying, there are really no protests here. This is very friendly. And we call this a friendly protest because you're not supposed to have political rallies. You're not supposed to have anything. The only thing you can have is thousands of people running down a street, burning stores, looting, doing what. That's okay because that's protesting. But we'll call this a friendly protest. South Carolina. Remember that? Was that the most exciting? Remember? How does it compare to 2016? I just gave that up. This is the most important election. You know why? Two reasons. Number one, that's over with. The hell with it. It's the hell with it. But the truth is, this is really going to be, that's got a seat, it's got a seat in, and we have a lot of new things, including additional, substantial middle-income tax cuts and other tax cuts, and tremendous regulation cuts. And we're finishing up with our military. You know, we're building Space Force. The wall is going incredibly. They don't talk about the wall anymore, the fake news. You know, once we started building it, and you'd think that was easy to build a wall? We had an entire party that would die for the fact, and I made a terrible mistake in the wall. Instead of telling you we're going to build a wall, the Democrats formed. It was very tough, but I got it. I'm a real estate developer. You can always get money. You learn. We have a lot of little pockets. We had a lot of big pockets. The military was great. The Army Corps of Engineers were great. So we're up to 330 miles of wall. We're doing 10 miles a week. And we're going to be finished with the wall very soon. And it's exactly the wall, the little more expensive wall. They want like nice, expensive, but exactly what Border Patrol wanted. We're building them the exact wall that they want. We can't give them any excuses. There's a typo. They made a mistake. What a stupid mistake. Can you believe it? That guy's in big trouble. What a stupid mistake. And then I heard it a second time. They did the same mistake. I said, well, that's what they're doing. They're going to take God out of everything, just like they want to knock down the statue of George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson. And it's never happening. You know, a lot of these Democrat states, you see it, the churches are closed. They don't want our churches to open. You can have a riot where you kill people in the streets, 25,000 people don't have to wear masks, nothing. They can march down the streets, step on each other's face. They can do whatever the hell they want. That's okay. But you can't go to church. They have ideas. They have plans. And it's never happening with me as your president. That I can tell you. And you see it. They want to tear down crosses from public spaces. You see it. You know, since I signed a little law, you know, they were ripping down a lot of statues about 4 months ago, right? And I said, do we have any laws like old laws when they were strong, when we were smart, when we were tough? Sir, we have one, sir. The general came in. What's the law, General? Sir, there was a law from quite a while ago, 10 years in prison. They didn't use the word 10 years in prison. You knock down a monument, and there's no games. This is the old days. This is the days when we had strong laws, when we had real laws, when we had real politicians that knew how to make laws. So here's the thing. So they were going to come in, they were actually looking to knock down the statue of a man named Thomas Jefferson. That's not too good, okay? They had obliterated a lot of different things, and so I had a news conference. I announced that I'm signing a law that anybody that knocks down a monument or a statue gets 10 years in jail. And the police in Washington, and we had National Guard, we had Secret Service. We were all ready for them. We were ready for them. And the time came, there was only a problem. Nobody showed up. You know why? 10 years was too much. 10 years was too much. It's amazing the way. Isn't it amazing the way it all works? So instead, they burned down Portland. I speak to the governor. I speak to the mayor. Is hopeless. He's a hopeless poor guy. They chased him out of his apartment, and he still thinks they're wonderful people. They're burning down his city. But I want to go in there with the National Guard so bad it would take us 15 minutes to solve the problem. When they heard in Seattle that we were going in, we were going in the next day, the guys just walked away. They left. That was the end of it. We had nothing to do. But they want to ban all prayer in public schools and require taxpayers to fund extreme late-term abortion. Biden's justices will erase national borders. They don't want borders. Protect sanctuary cities and compel the unlimited entry of foreign nationals. And if you look at some of these jihadist nations, no thank you. Somebody said, that's thank you. I love you too. It's very interesting. So, somebody in the fake news media did a story yesterday because this crazy chant is going on. They have two about the seat and, all that. But there was another chant that's happening at all these rallies. We're having massive rallies. We're in Minnesota. We had a tremendous crowd. Wisconsin, tremendous. Pennsylvania, every one of them. I mean, in all fairness, like this. Everyone. But this rant is going on like it's crazy. And it's, we love you, we love you, we love... And you know what? I don't want to say it. I'm just saying, they have not been able to find in the history of politics in this nation, even we loved Ronald Reagan, but they have not been able to find where people broke out and said, we love you about, I guess I have to call myself a politician. I don't feel like a politician. Oh, how nice is that? A lot of states close wherever they can. You know what they're going to do? They're going to announce they're going to be opening on November 4th. They'll be open. All these closed states, they're going to be open on November 4th. One of them blew it, a teachers union. Did you see it? No, we don't want to open now. We don't want to open the pandemic. We don't want to. We're rounding the turn of the pandemic. Vaccines are coming soon. But we don't want to open. November 4th, we're going to open. This person that's in charge of a union said that. That was not good. I think they'll get rid of her quickly. I'm also proud that we have successfully brought back the Big Ten and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Right? We better have a good year after all of that. And now he's really incompetent. But because of the ad, I said, it's very interesting, that ad. It's very interesting. Let me call up the commissioner. I called up the commissioner, very good guy. And I said, Commissioner, what can we do to get Big Ten football back? Well, I don't know. So we started. And we started a little thing, the commissioner, myself, one of my guys, he's fantastic. And within a few days, it started getting talked about. And then we kept it going, and we helped them with some testing, because we have the greatest testing in the world. We get no credit for it. We've tested almost 100 million people. India is second with 38. They said we're safer on the field than we are staying at home, and they meant it. And we did something, and I'm happy about it, so enjoy the football. Enjoy it. Under 16 years of Presidents Obama and Bush, median household income rose only $2,945. So remember that. That's 16 years, 2009. So let's say 3,000. Under 3 years of President Trump, it rose almost $7,000, okay? So think of it. 16 years, 3 years, achieving the highest median income in the history of our country. In my first 3 years, we lifted 6.6 million people out of poverty, the largest poverty reduction of any president in the history of our country. We built the greatest economy in the history of the world. And we are doing it again. We're building it again. I see those signs, Make America Great, Make America Great Again. So I say this, it's called now, Make America Great Again, again. Because we did, who was in charge of it said they didn't have a clue, they didn't know what they were doing. It was I was a much less lethal disease. And they lost many people. It was totally incompetently. And now I got this guy standing up. Well, we're giving him advice. His own guy that ran it, did everybody see it? Is saying They didn't have a clue what they were doing. It was so bad. I don't know why the hell he said it, to be honest with you. Who would say that? Maybe because he was honest. Does that make sense? And now Biden gets up and he's saying to do the same things as we've already done. He basically took our plan and he said, this is what you should do. But we've among the lowest case fatality rates of any major country in the world and the fastest economic recovery by far of any Western nation by far. Now we know it. It affects elderly people with heart problems and other problems. If they have other problems, that's what it really affects. That's it. You know, in some states, thousands of people, nobody young, below the age of 18, like nobody. They have a strong immune system. Who knows? You take your hat off to the young because they have a hell of an immune system, but it affects virtually nobody. It's an amazing thing. By the way, open your schools. Everybody, open your schools. Sleepy Joe Biden wants to impose a $4 trillion tax hike, ban American energy, destroy the suburbs, give free health care to illegal aliens. How about that one? And you know the bad part about that? Look, we all have heart. We want to take care of people. Problem with that is everybody's going to come to the United States. People that weren't even thinking about it, they're going to say, oh, man, these idiots are given free health care, free college education. They're given free everything. They're giving a Rolls Royce to every family that enters through the southern border. Remember I said that jokingly, and CNN said, he misrepresented. They are not getting a Rolls Royce. I agree. No, they're sick. They are sick people. And indoctrinate your children with poisonous anti-American lies. They're doing that. We're stopping it. To combat the toxic left-wing propaganda in our schools, I announced last week that we're launching a pro-American lesson plan for students called 1776 Commission. Failed candidate in the entire, I mean, she started off good, and every week she went down, 15 points, 12 points, 11 points, 9 points, 6 points, 5 points, 4 points, 2 points. Didn't she leave at about 2 or 1? She was heading down to the basement. She was so mean to him, I felt sorry for him. No, I did. I felt sorry. She called him everything from a racist to a Me Tooer. He was a Me Too. He was a part of the Me Too generation. What she called him, what she said. So I brilliantly said, well, he can't pick Pocahontas because she was too nasty. How nasty was she to Bloomberg? Was she unbelievable? Boy, he was standing there. What happened? What happened? No, actually, what happened? What happened? Mini Mike. He's another beauty. He's a real beauty. Mini Mike, what happened? What the hell happened? He hit her so hard. Remember? She hits him with about 30 different things, and she said, and I'm not talking about our president. He thought she was talking about me. Can you believe it? And I'm not talking. I'm talking about you. He said, what? Get me out of here. Get me out of here. And now he wants to buy his way back into the Democrat Party. He wants to buy his way back into the Democrats. He hasn't taken enough abuse. If I were him, I'd sort of either write it out or stay with the good Trump economy and get even richer, you know? Biden's running mate even urged supporters to help the bail rioters out of jail. You saw that? Including one who attempted to murder a police officer and a man accused of sexually assaulting an 8-year-old child. Now they're trying to free him on bail. They're putting up the money to get him out. Biden's plan to appease the domestic terrorists, and that's what it is, and my plan is to arrest the domestic terrorists, and that's what we've done. Many people in jail. Many people. Remember what I told you about the monument. Just remember, isn't it beautiful? We don't see that anymore. Have you seen a monument knocked down recently? No, we don't see it anymore. I don't know. Ruined so many families, ruined so many lives. And by the way, they want the Boston bomber to be able to vote. You know that. In 3.5 years under my administration, we've secured America's borders. We've costing countless black lives. If Biden and the left gain power, they will dismantle police departments nationwide. I'll tell you, the community that's most hurt by what they're doing, and there is the black community, the Hispanic community. As president, and we're doing great in the polls with the black community and the Hispanic community, and the Asian community. We're doing great. In fact, we did so well last night on one poll, they said it must be a typo. They did. It must be an error. Was it? It's no error. You're going to find out on November 3rd it's no error. As president, I will always stand, and I will always stand with the men and women of law enforcement. They're great people. Very brave people, not easy, and they don't get support. We have to give them back their dignity. We have to let them do their job. That's very simple. They're great. We're joined tonight by two high school football players. They became very famous. They became very, very famous. They became more famous than President Trump. They were beautiful. I watched them running through the crowds with those flags. And here someplace, I don't know, got a lot of people here, we're going to try and figure it out. Hold up your flag. Jared Bentley and Brady Williams, who were recently suspended from their high school football team after displaying flags in support of our police and first responders on the anniversary of September 11th attacks. We're on it. Come up here, fellas. Come up. Come up. Come up. Secret Service is thrilled about this. See, these young kids can hop over the fence like it's nothing. Come up here. Kids. So, I want to congratulate you. You've become famous. They're going to go to Hollywood. They're going to become movie actors right now. Great. You feel good about it? Huh? How's your team doing? You're doing great. And everybody out here loves you and they appreciate you. And speaking about warriors, we're also joined tonight by some great congressmen who are warriors, and they represent Ohio so well, and they love you and they love our country. Representative Bob Latta. Thank you, Bob. Great job. They like you, Bob. He ran my campaign, and when it came back for the second time, we had him in a high position. I said, Bob, I think you're great. You're doing a great job. I want you back in Ohio. We have to do it again. Bob Paduchek. Where's Bob? Bob, thank you. Thank you, Bob. Get over here, Bob. Thank you, Bob. He wants no glamour. He wants no glory. He just wants to win. And he called it right down to the bone. We had a rough couple of days. I said, Bob, how are we doing? You went up 2 points. I said, you got to be kidding. But, you know, we did. We had so much evolves around Ohio. And it's just a state that we have a relationship with. You know, it's a great state. We've done a great job for you, and you've done a great job for us, and we appreciate it very much. Thank you. We don't have to be in these faraway lands anymore. Now, we'll be there to help certain allies that have been great, but we don't have to be. Since my election, natural gas production in Ohio has surged 63%. They want to close it up. By the way, you do know they want to close it up. They want to close up all fracking, natural gas, everything. They want to close it up. This would kill at least 700,000 Ohio jobs, probably more than 1 million. While I'm president, America will remain the #1 producer of oil and natural gas on earth. Ohio workers will continue leading the way. I just left the great state of Texas. And I talked to a lot of people like this, a great crowd of people. We have tremendous support all over the country, I'll tell you what. These people are great. And here's the platform that they have. Sleepy Joe Biden. No oil, no religion, no God, and no guns. Now, I'm in Texas. It's really rough being in Ohio, but now we're talking Texas. No oil, that doesn't work well in Texas, right? No guns, that doesn't work well in Texas. No God, look what they're doing to the churches and everything. That doesn't work. No God, no religion. That doesn't work well. You would have to be George Washington with your running mate would be Abraham Lincoln, okay, your VP candidate, and you'd still lose very big. And then they say, yeah, he's doing okay. He's 2 up in Texas. They said it last time too, that Texas is even 4 years ago. And everybody said, no, I think Trump is killing it. We'd have stadiums with 25, 30,000 people, much more they couldn't get in. We'd have 40, 50,000 people outside. And they'd say I was even. We won in a landslide. Just like we won this state in a landslide.